This week's episode is brought to you by Knockout Fitness because a healthy mind sparks a healthy conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. You're through to a new segment of Love Laid Bare called At Your Big Age. So Kieron came up with the title for this. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
People like to use it as an insult.
They do.
At your big age, you shouldn't be doing this. Don't you have a house to build? You should be sitting doing DIY or whatever. So
building a boat, building a wall,
like the proper builds boats,
something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're gonna use it we're gonna flip it, and we're gonna talk about things that apply to people at our big age.
At our big age.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing is as well is that I feel like people in their 20s, late teens, they seem to feel like once you get into your 30s, 40s, that you're just supposed to have everything figured out. And actually, it doesn't work like that. Some of the struggles that they might go through equally, we can still go through.
100%.
At our big age.
100%.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to have a space for people our age to have conversations.
Amen.
A little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
So here we are.
So today we are going to talk about I think something that a lot of people, women, speak about. And today's topic is, do black men in particular take longer to commit to relationships as opposed to their other racial counterparts? So this topic idea was given to me by a friend. She's classed as non-black, and what she found was that in terms of the men that she has dated, and I think she's dated a variety of, I think black men is basically her preference. What she found is that the black men she had dated seemed to be less willing to commit than the other men of races that she has dated. I think she also said in comparison that, her friends who don't date black men tend to have a bit more success in terms of the commitment. So many of them are married, engaged, or when it gets to the point of dating, it actually accelerates quite quickly in terms of committed relationship. What are your immediate thoughts on black men and their apparent reluctance to commit?
What's the time frame?
See, this is the thing. I think time frames are a little bit,
because it's got to be relative. Not to cut you, but it's got to be relative to the person, right? So if the woman might want everything to happen at a ridiculous pace, like it's in a Love Actually or something, where it's an hour and a half and it's just boom, 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 and we're married at the end. But it's everybody, there has to be stages, no? Like there has to be you meet, there's that awkward phase where no one really knows what's going on. Mm-hmm. Do you like the person? Do you not? Cool. Then you advance from that to, oh my God, this is my guy. Or my girl. I need to spend every waking moment with her. And then, I mean, for me anyway, you end up it organically goes into a relationship space. Like we're not in school where after a week you have to let people know it's official. Oh my God, this is my boyfriend.
yeah.
This is I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this guy, and it's all. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
I think again, just going by some people's experiences, I feel like a lot of women tend to end up in situations where the guy is very much like, oh yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Then
yeah, that's a classic male response.
A year, 2 years down the line, there is still actually there's no commitment to any monogamy. It's just like, yeah, just kind of see how it goes. And before you know it, feelings are caught and you're in too deep.
You're down bad. You're down bad. We don't it's not,
Down
You know what it is? It's not that we don't like commitment. Yeah. Don't bully me into something. Right? I need to get there in my own time. Like, and sometimes, a lot of the time, guys will know straight off the bat whether or not this is the person that you want to make your partner, your wife, or whatever. But because they put so much emphasis on, oh, what are we? What is it? What are we doing? Sitting down watching a film. Oh, so yeah, the film's great. Boom, boom, boom. What are we doing? What are we? What's happening here? Well, I thought we were just watching a film. We're just sitting here watching a film. So now you've made it into the Spanish Inquisition. I'm being quizzed. And in my heart, yes, I like you. But I just want to get there.
When we get there.
It might take a year. It might take 2. Like, if...
What, to get to the point of being in a monogamous relationship?
Maybe not a monogamous relationship, but you know, innit? Like, it doesn't have to... You know if something's monogamous without it being said that it's monogamous.
No.
No?
No.
No?
No.
What do you mean how? Because you spend every week, you're with this person all the time. So there's only 24 hours in a day.
That's not how it usually goes, Kieron.
I mean,
I suppose you've been out the game for a while.
I've been out the game for a minute.
So, you know what I mean? So maybe you wouldn't know. But I think what I see from my girlfriends, and, you know, like just generally on social media, it's very much a case of like, you know, it seems like black men in particular, and we can only, I guess, talk about black men because that's all we tend to date. But, you know, it just seems like there is a very big reluctance to actually say, okay. And the thing is, every woman that goes through this experience isn't necessarily like there's something wrong with her or she's not particularly good enough or what have you. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm even thinking about some of my white friends or people that I've worked with, and it's like they meet somebody, they date.
They're living in each other's houses.
They're living in each other's houses within like 6 months kind of thing.
They're
married.
COVID. That was the whole thing.
You know, like 2 years later, there's a child there. You know, they're married. It's all a thing. But it's like, it appears that maybe with black men, it tends to be a little bit slower to maybe not even get anywhere.
To not happen. I mean, you got to kind of, I suppose you got to kiss some frogs to get to where you need to get to in terms of dating, right? So if a lot of people have a type, yeah?
Yes.
Let me word this properly. Maybe it's not that the guy is all of the men are reluctant to settle down. Mm-hmm. It's just maybe you go for the ones
that don't like to settle down.
Don't like to settle down.
That's an interesting point. It's what you're attracted.
It's not even
or what you're attracted to.
The qualities you look for, or what you find attractive. The bad boy, with that kind of type, there's gonna come certain characteristics. Yeah. So the bad boy doesn't want to settle down, doesn't really do authority. I don't like to be told this, that, and the third. Whereas the nice guy that a lot of women will say is boring, he's the one that will be in your house straight off the bat and be living with you and want to settle down and want to do this and want to go from A to Z in 2 months because he's nice and he wants to picket fence and he wants to. Whereas the other.
Or maybe he's love bombing you because he's a narcissist. I'm joking.
That personal, but do you know what I mean? So maybe it's not. It can't be a blanket statement. It's just that your taste is a little bit off in terms of the guy that you're going for. Maybe.
But again, the thing is, it's like I hear this from a lot of women. And I feel like we're now in a position where we should be, where we're old enough to know that really, you know, at this point in life, the bad boy isn't really what you should be. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not talking to 20-year-olds here. We're talking to... Your
type is your type, though, isn't it? If that's what rings your bell.
But the thing is,
then
but okay, but what would we classify as a bad boy then?
like that kind of that guy, like the jock in school, the cool guy that everyone wants. And this is the thing, right? There are some guys, there's some girls too that everybody wants. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and this is a male. This isn't just men that do this. Women do this too. They will keep their options open till the very last minute. A, because they don't want to miss any of the fish coming through the net, and B, because it is fun almost. Like sometimes it's nice to feel it's nice to know
that you
type.
Still got it,
right? Especially at the ages we're at. So, and it's not. Like I say that, and I know it sounds mad even saying it, but ego probably comes into play somewhere.
No, 100%, 100%. Ego will definitely come into it.
Ego will come into it, and then it's now it's almost like you lot. And this isn't me. I'm just saying.
You're just saying.
I'm just saying. Like it's almost as if like I've got Brian. Brian's got 6 or 7 women that are actively trying to tie him down. We've got a year. In that year, the 6 of you have to try and get me to commit to one of you. And whoever wins me. I'm the trophy. Yeah? So this is a lot of people's mindset. Women do it too. And then it's like, so you've got to not jump through hoops, but everybody kind of has to show that you want, like you really want me. And then if a lot of the time people not block their blessings, but people give up way too soon. Like if you may be stuck at it, for instance, what in your ideal Dionne bubble, we've all got bubbles. In your ideal Dionne bubble, what would, if you met a guy January 1st, 2023, and you started spending time with him and dating and whatnot, at what point would you want that initial conversation to happen?
At what point would I expect monogamy?
Yeah.
See, the thing is, I'm a little bit different because I'm not necessarily in a rush. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was in a nearly 20-year relationship. Yeah. So for me, I'm just a bit like, well, you know, I'm not saying I'm not bothered, because that's not what I mean, but I wouldn't necessarily feel like I would need to rush that conversation, because for me, it's more about enjoying that person, enjoying the time that we spend. I think, it depends how much time you're spending with them,
right. And this is,
X, Y, Z. So I feel like probably maybe if we're doing like regular, maybe 2-3 times a week, consistently talking all the time, yada yada yada, and you know we are mutually, you know, on a wave,
flow,
kind of thing. I'd probably say like maybe like after 3-4 months.
Yeah,
to be like mutually exclusive to each other.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
because then that gives each person time to let go of anything they might have.
Excess baggage.
Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Dalliances.
Yes. So not to say that, because if I'm dating someone, I'm dating one person only.
Okay, right. So it's been a long time since I've. So if Brian is dating, and this is where I'm saying about the 6 or 7. Because dating is now such a wide term.
Yeah, this is the thing. And
so you might be the only person I am dating.
In your mind.
She might be the only person, he might be the only person she's dating. Yeah? Which is why she's trying to get this lofty commitment straight off the bat.
Right.
But he might be dating
multiple other people.
Right. And so maybe you should. Maybe it's not that the men aren't committing; it's that the conversation isn't how many. Because you meet someone realistically, if you like the person, the common sense approach would be, you know what, before a guy says, "Can I take you out?" The woman, before we even go down that road, how many people are you seeing?
Yeah, but that's standard though, isn't it?
No, but it's not. A lot of people just start dating.
No. Okay, well, no. See, that's going to be the first question I'm going to ask.
Well, it should be.
How many people are you seeing? How many people are you sleeping with?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I feel like a lot of people that I've met have been actually quite honest. They were like, "Well,
it does away with
yeah,
a lot of the nonsense that happens when people don't like
when they're not honest."
Yeah, because then if you're not honest from the jump, the woman's now under the assumption that she's the only one.
She's the only one.
So now she's pressing for commitment, and he's like, yo.
But then at the same, but then also a lot of men are not honest. And okay, I'm not going to say just men, but I feel like from the feedback that I get, it's not. It's primarily men that are not honest from the gate. Because the thing is, I think they probably equally know that if they were to say, "Yeah, I'm seeing about 5 people," the woman is not going to be interested.
Of course, 100%.
Okay, so let's bring this back to a race thing.
Do I think it's specifically black men? No, men in general.
Men in general.
Men in general.
Okay.
Men in general. Are men of other races more, not predetermined, more likely to want to settle down quicker? Possibly. But then that's because maybe they came up in that. A lot of us didn't come up in that.
Yeah, that's true
so
too.
How can, do you know what I mean? There's a lot of men, a lot of like African men, Caribbean men that are trying to navigate through life and through relationships and stuff where we didn't have that to see. So we didn't, like, our dads might have been in and out or not there, full stop, or do you know what I mean? Or the mum had a lot of failed relationships. You didn't really get to bond with someone as a male to really see how. So a lot of us are still trying to kind of navigate. We had brothers, cousins, uncles who were probably dogs. And we're basing it off.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
That's very true too.
A lot of other people came up in homes
where it was like very.
The mums there married. It was very kind of, this is the structure, 2.1, 3.2, whatever that number is. What's it? 2.1 children?
2.4 it was
2.4 children
back in the day. Yeah.
Didn't do maths very well.
No, but there was a BBC program called. So that's the only reason why I know.
So there's that as well. So there's factors. It's not even just.
It's just the way they are.
Sometimes we simplify things by making it
a blanket statement
and drawing race lines and saying this is
a black thing
or a white thing. It's just, I think men, especially now, we go back 20, 30 years. You'd have to meet a woman, you'd have to go through so many hoops. Your trim would have to be on point. Yeah. Your outfit's got to be on point. Your breath can't stink. You got to dance. You got to be able to dance. You got to be able to
cologne.
All of that. You had to compete with whoever else was in the club. Yeah. There's guys popping bottles. There's this. There's that. There's all this. Now you could just do it from your house. So the market is flooded.
That's true.
So it's the temptation to see someone. No, I haven't said it's serious. You haven't asked me. So in my mind, I can still kind of play the field a little bit. So there's that, like the whole digital age thing has made the concept of dating and monogamy and commitment and stuff is so blurred. You got people doing the polygamy. You got this. You got that. Like, there's so many different doors off this one little relationship corridor. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a lot. Like it's navigating this thing is hard.
See, I had a look, guys, I love my studies and my stats and stuff. So I'll put them up on the screen. But like, for example, I just looked at the marriage rates in places like Ghana and Nigeria and stuff like that. And they have very, very high marriage rates. So is there something about us being in the West that has maybe perhaps shagged it up a little bit?
Shagged it like that. Don't get twisted. A lot of these Ghanaian men and Nigerian men and
No, I mean they're doing their thing.
They have their wife in Ghana and that, and then their mistress.
No. I know 100%.
Okay,
no, 100%.
So they're married.
Yeah.
But they're not
committed.
They're not committed. But they're married.
Okay.
100%.
So again, so we can maybe even draw this back to perhaps is it a race thing? I remember a while ago I saw another study that suggested that that black men were the least monogamous amongst all of the races. Now, the thing is...
who did that study?
Well, this is what I'm saying. So I'm not going to take it on too seriously. And even when you look at like studies that look into like dating for black people, you know, black women struggle the most when it comes to finding a committed relationship. And these are stats that I've been given by these dating websites.
Who are the dating websites run by? There's a lot of
no. I hear that, but what I'm saying is that, like, okay, even if we look at things from like a cultural basis, so the music, you know, a lot of the music I grew up on, dancehall, hip hop, R&B, you know, infidelity and having multiple women was
a thing.
It was a thing, and it still kind of very much is a thing. So could it be a case of this behaviour's maybe been ingrained into us? Is this how we've just always been?
No.
Are we trying to fight what's naturally within?
No, because our uncles and granddads sometimes would have multiple women back home. This is before dancehall and...
No, but that's what I'm saying. So is it like...
It's just natural. It's natural to want. I think it's... And again, let me word this properly.
Yeah, I was going to say, tread carefully.
Yeah, people will come for me. But like, there's a whole theory that monogamy and commitment and stuff is like man-made.
Yeah.
So as a man, and this is not me, this is Brian, as a man, I feel it's almost used as a excuse that we are men and we are animals and we are supposed to go forth and multiply.
So our seed.
So our seeds and do you get it?
Yeah.
But maybe that's how it is. Maybe we're not supposed to, or maybe, especially nowadays, because everything's different and it's changed. A lot of the old-fashioned values that people are trying to hang on to
are just not there anymore.
They're just not there anymore. So maybe instead of trying to push for this commitment straight off the bat, maybe in some instances, not all, because in some of them, 2 weeks, you know that these people are engaged and they live happily together for the next 50 years. Mm-hmm. But maybe in some people's cases that you should chill. And if it's supposed to happen, then it happens. Like, I'm a believer in every single person you meet in your lifespan, you meet for a reason. Like in your adult life, especially, you meet for a reason.
Yeah,
so
100%.
You might meet this dude, hit it off with him, boom. You really want to be with him. He's not really thing. And then you rebound off that and you meet the person that you're supposed to meet. Because you now know that all the traits that you thought you wanted,
you don't want them anymore.
You don't want them no more.
And I hear that. But I feel like for women who are maybe, you know, in their mid to late 30s, maybe even into their 40s, do they really want to wait around when actually, you know, I guess, okay, let me be careful with what I'm saying here because...
Yeah, I get where you're...
Do you get where I'm going?
Because obviously age and...
Right, and do you know what I mean? Like some people haven't had children and stuff like that. And, you know, I guess a lot of women, their dream is to, you know, be married and have kids and stuff like that.
But that's even more reason why you should not wait, but maybe just take it easy. Because what you don't want to do, what a lot of people do is that they rush it and they rush the steps and then they end up having a child and then finding out later on down the line that the person that they, do you know what I mean? It's not what they thought it was or it wasn't, or the guy turns around and says, I didn't even want the kid. Yeah. Or, do you know what I mean? You pressure, I resent the child. you pressured me into it.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
Yeah, there's that
do you know
too.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
you got it's a tough one, and I get obviously I'm a dude, and I'm giving dude responses, but I'm trying to be balanced with it, but I'm trying to tap into my feminine energy, but it's a sticky one, man.
And also as well, I think when I was working in the corporate world, it was a very much, you know, a white male dominated situation, right? I spoke about this week before last, why I quit my corporate role. And what I noticed is that I don't think white men are particularly any different to black men when it comes to monogamy. I just feel like they cheat differently.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that I saw, for example, were, you know, affairs in the office or brothels or those kind of one night stand situations in the bar or the pub or what have you. So it's like they still do it, but it's just, I guess maybe if you're not in that circle, then you're just probably not likely to see it. But essentially, and I can't even say just men, because, you know, again, the statistics show that women are being probably nearly as unfaithful as men are.
Yeah, why? I mean, all my immediate circle of black male friends are all married. They're all in committed relationships. They've been in committed relationships for damn near 20 years.
Okay.
Like, do you know what I mean? So just basing it off my immediate circle, like there are men that you just have to find the man.
The man.
You gotta look and not settle for not to say anyone's settling for the first guy that shows them interest, but quality control, man.
Yeah.
There's enough people on this planet. There's somebody for everybody. You just have to sometimes steady the course and put up with some nonsense before you find your person. And it's that simple. If you stick at it and you wait and you stick to your non-negotiables, you'll find your person. And if it's black men that you want, if you find black men attractive, and I fully understand why, if you find black men attractive, then you stick that you steady the course, and you will find one, 100%, and he will be everything you want him to be, and he will lift you up and spin you around and sing and all sorts, cook for you naked and all kind of stuff. Whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay, so what are we concluding then?
That let's not simplify things by making it a race thing, because that's not helpful.
Okay.
So men are men.
So men are men.
Men are men. Black, white, Chinese, Haitian.
Haitians are black.
You know what I mean? Wherever, anywhere in the world, you throw a man up in there and drop him. He's exactly the same as every other man in that area. Physically, mentally, all of it. We are
men are men.
Men are men.
Men are men.
Like you're going to find some men that are decent men, some men that are scumbags. You just have to look.
Okay. So it looks like we're concluding that black men do not.
Black men don't cheat. That's the wrong slogan.
Black men do cheat. But I think we're concluding that actually perhaps it's not necessarily a race thing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for joining us this week. If you have any comments or thoughts, you can follow me at lovelybear.com.
If you've got any topics, send them to. Or actually, DM me. Yeah, DM me.
What's your app?
I mean, you'll put it up somewhere. It'll be here.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again very soon. And it's a wrap.